we're back by popular demand. We are Three Counselors in the Couch. I'm Crystal.
I'm Kiva.
And we are here to make drama have a purpose. Today we want to talk about the Atlanta Housewives and
the Houstons.
The Houstons. The Houstons on our own. So,
you got a few notes for them.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it. I just want to start off with Kenya, the latest and the newest to the Atlanta Housewives. Now, first of all, I don't know what shows I'm thinking about, but I just feel like they just anybody who causes real drama, you know, like if they leave, like I feel like Nene and Kim's drama died down, so they had to bring two other loud mouth, over the top, dramatic people.
Absolutely.
You know,
keep the ratings up.
This Kenya, honey, she is I'm like the other girl, Miss America or
Miss USA.
And what year was that? And you know, sister, I'm proud of you, you know. I'm just not really sure why you have to continue to ride on that coattail or to continue to throw it up. Like, if it happened in the 90s, then what have you done since then that you can feel good about yourself and talk about?
Well, I don't know if you saw the one where she said she had a traumatic childhood growing up.
Yes.
And she talks about her problems with her mother.
Yes.
And then she kind of just cuts it off. She just kind of stops. So it's obvious that she has issues with women.
Yes.
And she has issues with herself.
Yes.
But at the same time, that narcissistic, narcissism where she did.
I knew you was going to focus on that narcissistic behavior.
Because I'm like, I'm wonderful, I'm beautiful, and spinning around. Okay, really?
I love the way she did that though the other day. That was like, that was like some real dramatic.
It was very. I was like, really, for real. Okay, maybe once, but about 20 times.
I like that she did it so many times. She was so crazy. That was
spin around.
Kenya, go ahead, girl. You want to cause some drama for TV. That right there was the move. On the other hand, your other behavior, like
it's out of control.
Being, this dire need for love and approval.
Yes.
This desperate need
to be
have
married.
a man. Why are you begging a man to marry you? Like, are you serious with that? So,
let's talk about that a little bit, because you beg a man to marry you on one end, but then you go flirt with every other man in front of him.
Good point. I want to
push up on people's husbands. I'm like,
oh my goodness,
I don't have no respect for you. I don't see why you think a man would have respect for you.
Don't even get me started on Phaedra's behavior right now, because I'm gonna flip a wig, because she was so passive aggressive. And talk about afraid of confrontation and not having boundaries and allowing somebody to cross, and first of all, whoever those network people that's looking to record drama, they just be going off in all the wrong directions, okay? Because they should have encouraged Phaedra
to act the fool.
To say, not even just act the fool, but just like, fool. Sure. Bitch, did you just touch my husband?
Not only that, but correct him and her. Because
Apollo,
I think, I'm going to need you to...
Come on, we need to go have a talk now.
Okay, because it was one thing for her to push him in the pool. I get that. You couldn't control that. Like, for you to grab her and put you on your back and throw her and go in the pool with her.
And go in the pool with her all like...
Yeah. That was a bit much.
That was a problem,
the fact
Apollo.
That when Kenya addressed Phaedra about possibly letting him sleep with her, you see how he responded. His response wasn't automatic. No, do what?
Yeah.
What you want me to do?
I'm all for my wife. I don't need no other woman. He ain't saying nothing like that. So you know what? That's why I said I ain't even want to go off into this. But since you put me there, let me just say this about her, right? Like, I'm telling you, like, they're not evenly yoked. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I think she's a prude.
Let's start with the beginning.
She's a prude, honey. He a thuggy thug
of course.
Who just got out of prison.
Wait a minute, think about it now. She's a Southern Belle. She was pregnant before they got married. That's why she had to hurry up and get married, because she had this image to uphold with her mother, because she's a preacher.
Yes.
And I got to act like, I'm Miss Goody Two Shoes. Come on, you've been sleeping with this man how long? You love the fact that he went to jail and he a thug.
That's right.
He totally out of your element. He everything that you weren't supposed to go after. That's why you love him so.
Yes.
Now you done changed him and molded him and made him into this man.
She did.
This man that you want him to be, or what looks good on the TV.
And he went for it because he needed the stability.
Why
you know
not?
what I mean? He needed the stability. But now he's starting to come out of his closet and starting to show his real true colors.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Apollo a cool dude. I ain't got no problem with Apollo.
I ain't got no problem with him either. I think he's hot for,
I think that Phaedra needs to
pink dude.
I think Phaedra needs to stop tripping like she's so much. Like she got it all together, and it ain't all together.
But I think she really does have those. Like when we talk about those 40 on fire issues in terms of, being into that era. Well, she hasn't reached 40 yet, but she has all of these prudish behaviors that are related to religious,
very
and
religious,
spiritual beliefs.
Right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true. Yeah.
So
Southern religious beliefs.
I'm
you
from
have
Brooklyn,
to think about
honey.
that.
I don't know nothing about that.
Because the South and religion is a whole different era than the North and religion. So she was raised in the country by a preacher, probably a Baptist preacher. I don't know, but okay, you already can imagine. So
she has a difficult time letting her freak be known. And in all actuality, throughout the show, she's always making these sexual innuendos, these outwardly, sensual comments, But I think those who talk so much about it ain't doing it. I mean, Candy made that clear because now that she getting her rocks off, she ain't got nothing else to say about no candy coated
She don't
nights.
She don't talk about no kind of toys anymore, do you? Right?
No.
Wow.
So
hadn't thought about that.
Come on, let's go back to Kenya because what you was just now saying about her flirting with the other men but wanting this dude to marry her,
Right.
And she made some comment about I just want to create some jealousy in him, some spark under him. Again, these manipulative, conniving behaviors to get attention.
That's not working.
Attachment disorder. What is that therapist name? Bowlsley or Bowlsby who did the attachment disorders. Kenya has when she brought up this issue with her mom and being abandoned by her mom at such a young age, it just made me think about the lack of bonding and attachment that goes on between a mother and a child, and how when that's interrupted, it creates a lot of anxiety and unfinished business in a person, right? So she has all of these behaviors. Like, look at this: intense control, battles, very bossy, argumentative, defiant, and angry. Resist affection on parental terms, like she has no connection with her mother. And then when she claims that she loves her aunt, the one that took her in and that raised her, yet she wouldn't bring the man around for a while because this woman's opinion
matters so much.
And I think the opinion matters in that if I don't please you, then you will reject me.
Or could it be I bring him around and he still don't ask me to marry him? Then they ask me, when you get married? When you get married? When you get married?
Yeah, well, she said earlier how when she spoke to her aunt, she said, I didn't bring him around because I don't want you to chase him away.
Oh, wow.
Because, men in the past that she's brought hasn't been good. So she definitely demonstrated a lack of impulse and control, by flirting with other people's men and pushing a man in the pool, not respecting any type of boundaries or anything.
Inappropriately demanding or clinging. That's it.
Yes.
Good grief. Yeah.
Very concerned about tiny hurts.
But bruises out big,
big hurts. So, she can compartmentalize that thing with her mother and dress it all up. Well, she never cared about me. She got her own issue, blah, blah, blah. But, these little things that these other women say to her, she just blow up.
Out of control.
Just blow up. And these things come from, neglect, abuse, separation from your primary caregiver.
Traumatic experience.
And talking about maternal depression, right? Like, there's a lot of people who have attachment issues, and you see them in their inability to be intimate in their adult relationships, right? And
with women or men.
And it could come from something as simple as, that's not really simple, but attachment and bonding can be disturbed by where a mother is at during the time of her pregnancy and nurturing in the first year or two of life, like if a mother has postpartum depression,
Right. She may not. Right.
She
may not
where will her
nurture.
attentions
Right.
be? You understand? Like my mother was chasing around her childhood boyfriend who was a musician and in the life. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking about me. You're absolutely right. I mean, my mom, she didn't bond with me, for many reasons. And so, I had to get that love somewhere else. So we had difficulties a long time, and that did play into how I react to women in friendships and relationships with males. So, of course, we all have issues surrounding attachment bonding one way or another, positive or negative. So here, she's acting out, and I
she's
think
acting out definitely.
And it's coming out more and more. This show is actually, again, opening wounds for her that she's not addressing. So I don't know if it's doing more harm than good, actually.
You know what it made me think about the other day? Like, I thought about Evelyn. And I thought about how Evelyn told Ayama that she's learned so much about herself as a result of being on the show. So I started to think about, like, can these shows really be therapeutic for them and change them? Like, for example, once she played the tape back and began to watch her behavior, if she really changed at all, because we don't know.
Right.
She said that, okay, like when I looked at it, it wasn't good. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if Kenya is going to get to
I think about that all the time. I really do. When I watch these shows, I say, I wonder if they sitting here watching these shows going, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, or I can't believe I said that, and I'm going to make a conscious effort not to do that again. I really do wonder that about them, because some of the things that they do and say, I'm like, not to jump around, but even the Basketball Wives, LA and New Orleans, with the showing the breast, showing, things like that. Do you sit back and say, oh, what was I thinking? And
especially Jackie with her married self flashing her breasts all out in public. That is not a way to represent your husband, honey.
I hope consciously that they do. That speaks volumes if they don't.
So Kenya's gonna wind up, playing the tape back and watching herself beg this man to marry her. As beautiful as she is, and the accomplishes that she may have made in her life, what is it about her that would still nag at her inner self to believe that she's unwanted and she has to do all of these things to want? So I'm gonna give you a test. Okay, this is avoidant behavior and anxious ambivalent behavior. So these are the two categories that they break it down in terms of what kind of adult behaviors you would see in a person who has attachment disorder, right? So you say check or whatever to where you think Kenya is, okay?
Oh.
Okay. Intense anger and loss.
Test my pimping. Go ahead.
Intense anger, loss, hostility, critical of others.
I don't know.
Okay. Compulsive caregiver.
No.
Feeling over involved and underappreciated.
Possibly.
Rapid relationship breakups.
Yeah.
Idolizing of others.
No.
Views others as untrustworthy.
Yes.
Lack of empathy.
Yes.
Undependable. Views self as unlovable or too good for others in relationships, and feel either threatening to oneself and control. So
from one extreme to the other.
Okay. So you know what you just did, right? Yeah. You categorize her as the avoidant one.
Yeah, I got you. She is.
Okay.
She is.
So to be
she's from one end to the other. It's blame to others. I'm never at fault. I'm always the victim. Again, a victim mentality, and at the same time, I'm too good for you all anyway.
Yes.
Yet and still, I need y'all to want me and be here and take me in. So absolutely.
So avoidant behavior therapeutically doesn't necessarily mean you turn the other way and walk away and not deal with it. Avoidant behavior could be just what Kiva just described. It's almost
Denial.
the dance, that dysfunctional dance of I want you, I don't want you,
Yeah.
I need you,
Right.
I can't have you, I'm
Right.
too scared,
Right.
please don't
Right.
leave me, oh get the hell away
Push
from
and
me.
pull, push and pull, yeah. And she is, she really needs to, I hope you see this, Kenya. I really do. You really need to call and ask for help. Cause,
Call
again,
us,
I
3
think,
counselors and a couch.
I really think that, again, this show is opening up wounds that she may not be aware of.
Yeah.
And it's going to address a lot of issues. And I hope that she watches the show and says, oh my God, what was I thinking? Where was I in a place that I need to beg a man to care so much about me? I mean, have a baby. If you want to have a baby, go have a baby.
Right.
How many women have a baby without a baby? I mean, I understand that may not be your plan. That wasn't the way you want. Who did?
But people are forcing her to fit into that that mold of what
society
says.
This is what you do.
Yeah, you get married and you have a baby. And,
okay. And the longer you wait, what if you get married and you can't have a baby?
Right.
Then what?
Right.
I mean, do we
but
think about that?
at the same time, I think that she really needs to get in touch with the fact that she has an attachment disorder because one of the things that this also talks about is how generational this is.
Okay, but let's talk about him.
Who? The one we saw at the 100 most influential.
Yes, we saw him with another
gala with a tall, skinny, light skin.
So what is about him that's not honest? He can't be honest with her. I'm gonna need him to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Kenya, I'm not gonna marry you. Instead of embarrassing her in front of the group, I'm not gonna marry you for this reason. Blah blah blah.
Well, I wanna like help him out for a little bit with that, right? Because Lord knows I've had some men chase me to the point where I have to just get downright nasty with a brother, right?
I'm not
because
saying
he
nasty,
he's tried to tell her.
I don't think so.
Yes, he did. He told her like, I just came out of a marriage or whatever. Like I'm trying to establish ground for myself. I want to get married again in the future. I don't want to be tainted by my past relationship. I want to be open to new relationship, but I'm going through this process right now. Now she was supposed to take that 2 cents and understand that okay, back up, or understand that he may not be the man for her. Like when I started dating and I had the determination to get married, I got the name Nikki by my friends because I was cutting them off every 2 weeks. Why? Because you talk to a man and you find out what their aspirations in life and what they want. You realize they don't line up with what you want. So why waste your time with them? Move on to the next. Especially when you get our age, Kenya, you ain't got time to be waiting around on a man. And let me tell you this too. One thing about everybody does what they want to do. That's just human nature. True. And when a man want to really marry you, he will. You ain't got to ask him about nothing.
He will hunt you down if that's what he want to do. When I met
my husband, the first thing he said was, "You gonna be my wife." Right? He wasn't lying.
So, again, though, I hear you, but I'm gonna need him to say that. I mean, to me, that's.
But he getting coochie, keep it like. Why should he just?
I don't
let
think
it go all together, cause.
Okay. Where she's at, she ain't gonna let him go anyway. Even if he say
that's
to her,
right.
Where she's at mentally, she not going nowhere.
He's scared.
But I'ma just need him to go and say, I'm not married.
He's scared, Keeper. He too in now.
She not going nowhere.
She gonna be a fatal attraction. She gonna chase his ass.
Now that's possible. But I'm just gonna say to you, she's not leaving you.
You gonna have to move to a whole nother state, bro, to get rid of her. You better tell it on TV.
So
you better do it on TV so it
can have some tape.
Right? Yeah, some evidence.
Okay, we gotta wait till next Sunday. Maybe he did tell her at the tape.
Okay, because
we gotta wait.
Upcoming attractions.
Yeah,
he said he told everybody, "What? Kenya said we was getting married?
Let me get this straight. We're not getting married." So she's still not going anywhere.
Let me just shout out to the networks and say that when you opening up wounds like this and you dealing with people's lives, you really have to have a team of people who can help behind the scenes. Even if you don't want them on the show, they need to be behind the scenes because, you
you don't know
hurting,
where people.
You hurting her
yeah,
like
yeah.
this. You really hurting
First
her.
of all, she's so sensitive to it already. You
Yeah.
don't know where that person could go over the edge
Yeah.
on it. And
Yeah.
so the fact that you do this in front of the girls that she
Yeah.
trying to prove a point that she got it all together to,
Mhm.
yeah, that could be a bad look.
Because they already had on, it's one of those California housewives,
Beverly
Hills,
Yeah.
where dude committed
Commit suicide,
in
exactly.
a domestic violence situation.
Right, it's too much.
And then you better remember, Dr. Phil, he had somebody commit suicide on his show, years back. Learn from these things. You know what I mean? You need to be seeking out competent counseling
professional
for these people.
And people who can relate.
Yeah.
Everybody can't relate. I'm sorry.
So anyway, call us with 3 counselors and a couch.
Check us out. Our numbers online.
We can put some of your clients on the couch and help them perform better because we make drama have a purpose.
Right. So
speaking of counseling,
who we going to?
My baby, Bobbi Christina.
She needs help. Help the baby.
I want to help the baby. I want to help her so bad. I wanted to help her mother so bad. Every paper I wrote in school, as a substance abuse counselor was related to Whitney, and I really wanted to help her. And Bobbi Christina, I really can imagine, having, lost a child, I really know the process of grieving that she's going through, or not even being able to get into the grieving process because of all of these distractions, like TV, like that little boyfriend.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. He's definitely a distraction. He's a scapegoat for her, so she doesn't have to think about. Even though he makes her think about it more, because he's been there all her life pretty much. So, both of them. Yeah. Both of them need a lot of help. She is really battling grief and not in a proper way. I really don't believe that. And her aunt, I believe Pat, is just really struggling with where to draw the line with her. I think she's afraid that she's going to push her over the edge so she does nothing except enable her.
I would like her to learn from her past mistakes. Clearly, she didn't become an enabler overnight since she's worked with Whitney for so many years. And if your tactics did not work with Whitney, what makes you think they're going to work with Bobbi Christina?
That's what I'm saying. I think that she changed her tactics. She's not...
she went from one extreme
to the other. Right. I'm saying she didn't do it properly. She didn't even get...
She doesn't know
She
how.
didn't even... consult with someone to make sure that she was doing it properly.
Or if she consulted with somebody, she consulted with the wrong people.
Because, we know for a fact that our husband has battled, substance abuse over the years. And then again, for her to go from him to Whitney to Bobbi and now to Bobbi Chris.
Yeah.
So this is not, new for her. But at the same time, how much can one take?
Yeah.
Trying to be the martyr, trying to stand strong and act like, I can hold it all together. I can handle this. And she's breaking inside as well. I think she is really falling apart.
She's experienced the loss herself. How can I help you when the same tragedy that happened to you happened to me?
That's true.
Like, that's just so crazy,
That's
you know?
True.
And we call that, in the substance abuse field, we call that dysfunctional family dynamics, which is always centered around a chemical abuser, so everybody begins to take on these roles to survive the dominant personality in the family. Absolutely. So you clearly could see how now that Whitney is gone, Bobbi Christina has become the center focus as the chemically dependent person, and then you have everybody else playing these other roles. You have her as the chief enabler.
Right. They've made Bobbi Chris the center and the scapegoat now. That's everybody focus on her problem. We don't have to deal with us and problems. And I don't even know so much I can say if Gary is doing it or if the daughter is doing it. It's so much as Pat is doing it.
Yes. Well, I think they all started to play their role, because I think that the daughter was playing the role of the lost child. You know what I mean?
Oh,
she was just,
definitely.
Taking a seat back and kind of
she tried to be quiet and she tried to
she has and whatever.
She tried to be quiet and say, okay, I understand that something happened here and I'm gonna let mom deal with it. But at the same time, you pushing further and further away from me. And I need my mommy
and
right
she's
now.
starting to speak
Right,
up about
so
that, which is now putting more pressure on Pat.
Right.
You know, and Bobbi Christina again, because she's the center, she's not focused on any of those things.